www.audiationmagazine.com.
What is your musical background history and how did you get into the industry?
Musical background, I started making music when I was about 18, so I started DJing when I was 12, and then moved to Bristol when I was like 19 and made my first record there. I got into it through a guy called Giles Peterson, who signed my first record, and I just gave a friend a demo and she just said, oh, I've got a friend I can play it to, and then like the week later I just got a phone call from her saying, oh yeah, Giles has heard it and wants to sign it. So I was just like, yeah, wicked. But I sort of made a lot of music in Bristol for like 5 years.
So what's your preferred tools for production?
Tools for production?
Cubase,
yeah, I use Cubase as my main DAW, but then I use Reason and Ableton like as samplers.
So would you use Rewire to do that?
Yeah, I rewire that to Cubase, yeah. And then obviously got a lot of hardware, so like I used all of this stuff, got like SSL 4000 channel strips, like vintage ones, and Neve ones out of an R7, like Neve preamps, the Empirical Labs Fatso. I've got an SSL bus compressor C2, Stephen Slate Audio Dragon, and like that's like an LA2A down there, but a stereo one, which my friend made for me. And then, just lots of like synths, the Prophet 12.
Any particular favourite synth at all?
Favourite synth? I just got an Oberheim OBX, which is that one over there on the left. That's my favourite one right now. It's just like they're quite rare, so it's like nice to have it in the studio.
So, what inspires you at the moment? Where do you draw influences from?
At the moment, just Amsterdam really. I moved here like a year and a half ago, something like that, and just it's a really inspiring place to live creatively. It's just, I don't know, it just feels right sort of creating here at the moment.
I felt that as well when I got here.
Yeah, it's a really interesting city, and the house and techno scene here is really like diverse and forward thinking, and it's like it's not really separatist, you know, that you get in some places, which is more like you have to do this is the sound or this is the sound over here. It's just anything goes, you know. Yeah, it's really open and everyone has a really good knowledge, and it's just you hear a lot of really interesting records here.
Cool. So how did the name Breach as a stage name come about?
That came about from, I guess it was like with Fatherless, the first tune I made as Breach. It was like it came from sort of like merging sort of two styles, like sort of house and then sort of dubstep, I guess at the time, or I sort of drew from stuff that I'd hear down at Forward. I didn't ever make dubstep and never really got that deep into it, but I'd go down to Plastic People and just, you know, just catch a vibe, do you know what I mean? And
draw from it,
then go to the studio. My studio was just around the corner in Brick Lane, and then it was sort of, I guess, like taking some sort of sounds that I was getting influenced by labels like Temper, and then just sort of making it sort of more house sort of vibe out of it, I guess. So it's like breaching the styles.
Oh, see,
sort of thing. Yeah.
Right, you've been around in the game for a little while now, but the release of Jack, without doubt, brought you a lot of success. What's the story behind the track, and how did it change things, if any?
The story behind it was like it started off as like a B-side for Dirty Bird, a record I was doing on Dirty Bird, and I made one track, and Claude von Straight said, yeah, you know, really like the one track, and he was just like, oh, let's do something like a bit sleazier or whatever. And then I went to bed and just woke up with the thing in my head.
The hook.
Yeah, and then I just sung it into my phone, and then went down to the studio and recorded it, and sort of it was on my computer for like a few days, and then I just sort of went in, opened it up, and just made a beat for it. It only took a few hours really, didn't like to get the main thing down, and then mixing it took a bit longer. But it was. So
was that the B-side for what was?
It was the B-side for Let's Get Hot, yeah. And then it just like went crazy. It was just like, you know.
So was it released initially as a B-side?
Yeah, it was. Well, no, it was called. We'd made it the A-side by that point, just because the reaction on the dance floors was really good. So we were like, we sort of knew, you know, it was a good tune. And then it came out, and then I think it'd been out for 2 months, and then Atlantic signed it, licensed it, and then just put it out, sort of re-put it out basically. and yeah, it just changed. It obviously brought me a lot of success, and sort of it was strange. It was quite weird because it kind of thrust me into a world that I wasn't really, I'm not like that interested in. Like I mean, I like making pop records and stuff, for other people, but it wasn't. It
was
wasn't
never
really
intentional.
where I'd seen Breach going. It was
Course.
just like it was basically a thing so I can just DJ records that I really like playing. That's kind of why I started making music as Breach, and it's made it quite mad. You know what I mean? So it's been a mad journey, definitely since then. It's been good though, and I'm just looking forward to sort of carrying on really.
Okay. So the EP released on Will Soul's label, Will Soul's Oz label. How did this come about?
It just came. I mean, I've been friends with Will for years, and obviously really like House as a label. I play a lot of sort of stuff, and I guess with my label, I put out sort of. I guess it's quite similar sort of artists that are on House, and Will just approached me and said, "Do you want to make a record?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure." It's like, and it's nice, and Atlantic are really cool with me putting out sort of more underground stuff. Yeah, so that's works for me,
So Naked was launched in 2012. What inspired the idea for the label and the name?
I don't know. I kind of I just wanted a record label. I was getting sent lots of demos and stuff, and a couple of them I really believed in. So I was just wanted to put my own music out and put other people's music out and sort of create a label. And it started really nicely and quite slowly. And we're on, I think it's our 10th release in January. And it's like building and building, and I'm signing new artists and doing, I can do little collaboration projects with people and then just put them out, and it's a really nice thing to do. And then also, build other people's careers, sort of like Lorca and this guy Veers that I signed from Leeds is dope. But I tend to if I take someone on, I'll tend to work with them and help them out with
that
it.
mentor as well,
Kind of, but just I'll fly them over here and we'll get the stems, and we can put it through all the hard and just mix it down a little bit better, or just because when you're they're not just starting out, but even after years, I still learn stuff about.
So you like to be hands on
every day.
with the stuff.
Yeah, and it's and you can push people and get different results out of them. I think at the end of the day, it's still their track, and they have to be completely happy. Some things I can do, they'll be like, oh, I don't, I'm not into that, and you have to put back what I've done on it or whatever. But yeah, you just work with them really, and then it's interesting because you learn as well off other people. Do you know what I mean? It's I learn off them as well, much as they probably learn off me. Because everyone has something different, that they bring to sort of creating or production or whatever.
Still talking about Naked. How would you describe the music ethos?
Emo house. That's what I call it. Yeah, cool. I like sort of house and techno that has sort of it's got to have obviously be quite dance floor, but then have some sort of I don't know. I always go for music that has some sort of emotional chords in it, or something happens somewhere where it sort of gets you a bit. It's not just a dance. Yeah, it's got to have some feeling to it, for sure.
Cool. So is there any big plans about what's next for Naked? Anything big in the pipeline? Yeah, well we've got what's out next. The new Lorca EP's out next month. That's called Calcutech, and then we've got me and Cinnamon have got released. It's the 10th release, and that's called Liberty, and the B-side's called Avocado. Really excited about that one. It's also he's one of my best friends here, and he's obviously a Dutch sort of big person in the Dutch house and techno scene. He's a resident at Trow, and he has this studio next. He has a studio next door.
Yeah, next door. So we've wanted to make some music together for ages, and it was really nice to be able to do that with one of your mates, and then it came out really good. So nice. I'm really excited about that.
So you've got a release date for that?
January the 12th, I think, is the release for that one.
Cool. So, first record you ever bought? If you can remember.
First record I ever bought, Snooker Loopy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Right. Favourite track you've made?
That's a hard one. Favourite track I've ever made? I don't know. I would say What, as Breach or Ben West Beach? As Breach, let's do it as Breach.
As
As Breach,
Breach,
yeah,
yeah.
just Fatherless, I guess. That's
Cool.
a big one, you know.
Cool. Favourite kit for making music? I suppose we've kind of gone over that. Really,
Yeah, we kind of went over that pretty much.
Your dream lineup, so you plus a few others maybe.
What, on what, DJs?
Yeah, to play as
Probably, I'd say DJ Harvey, Andrew Everall, and who else would I like to play with? Just those two, I think. That'd be cool.
Wicked. If you had to DJ a 3-hour set of a different genre, what would it be?
Hip hop, probably.
It's got to be in it.
Yeah, or jungle actually. No, I'd go jungle.
Jungle, yeah?
Jungle, yeah.
Cool. One sentence that defines the house and techno music.
What's that?
The house, I just wrote it wrong. So one sentence that describes house and techno music.
Oh right. Just like, I don't know, like fall to the floor. Just fall to the floor. That's pretty much it.
Cool. I think, yeah, that's it. Have you got anything else you want to add?
My Cessle's interview, but nah. Where you know? What was your first thing you done? You done something with drum and bass as well, didn't you? You sang on.
Yeah. I used to make drum and bass in Bristol with DJ Dye and Clips as well.
I used to go to that thing in Leicester Square, that Thursday night movement.
Barumba.
Yeah, I used to hear that Get Closer track.
Yeah. Those were funny years.
How long ago was that? Sorry.
Years.
10?
10 years ago, if not more.
Something like
or
that.
less. Just under 10 years.
Cool.
Yeah.
Steve, you got anything you want to say?
No.
All right.
Yeah, cool, man.